I'm Doug Geed. Only in Newsday, a judge has ordered Suffolk County to issue a permit for a battery storage plant in Holtsville. Andrew Enger spoke to some residents who are not very happy about that.
For several years, some community members in and around Holtsville have fought against a proposed 110 megawatt battery storage facility near the LIE South Service Road and Morris Avenue. The facility had previously been denied a permit by Suffolk County, but at the end of last month, a state Supreme Court judge overruled that decision and ordered the county to issue the permit.
We very much disagree with that decision.
Alan Zetterbaum lives a half-mile away from the proposed facility owned by Savion Energy, a subsidiary of Shell Oil. He says if there was ever a fire, like one that happened several years ago at this battery facility in East Hampton, or a chemical leak, the area's groundwater could become contaminated.
We need to protect our groundwater. We need to protect the residents and not put a facility what's going to put everybody in harm's way.
Newsday's Mark Harrington says Savion Energy had hoped to start construction this year, but has for now been halted, at least temporarily.
Suffolk County immediately appealed to the higher court, so that could take months, a year, possibly more, so that could delay it.
Suffolk County did not comment on the appeal, but a Savion spokesperson tells Newsday, "We respect the legal process and will continue to engage through the appropriate channels."
The proposed battery facility is in the town of Brookhaven, and officials here are holding off on their decision on the facility until they get more guidance from the state of New York when it comes to firefighting and safety.
When it comes to the town of Brookhaven, we're in no rush to issue anything because the state makes the energy policy.
In Holtsville, Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
First in Newsday, a woman has pleaded guilty to sex trafficking in the case of a teenage girl who went missing for 25 days. Very disturbing story. Jacqueline Comiskey, she admitted to arranging for a 14-year-old girl to have sex with a man in exchange for drugs. The 52-year-old Comiskey expected to be sentenced to 12 years in prison. The girl went missing in December of 2024 and was found on this yacht in Islip almost a month later. Comiskey of Bellport is one of 23 people to be charged in that case. Officials say 2,000 gallons of oil spilled into storm drains and the waterways after a tanker overturned in Meadowmere. That's a community in Queens right on the border with Lawrence and the Five Towns area of Nassau County.
It has a 12,400 gallon capacity. At the time, though, it only had 8,500 gallons on it. One of the compartments did rupture and begin to spill.
And you're looking at video of the truck overturning. This is on Rockaway Turnpike. A leak currently under control, but officials say it'll be a while to clean it up, and they're asking people to avoid that area. Volunteers from more than a dozen fire departments responded to the call. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Hundreds of Haitian immigrants working as caregivers have been forced out of their jobs. This comes after the Trump administration took away their temporary protective status, or TPS. A nonprofit organization that represents healthcare workers is asking for Haitian TPS holders to be exempt from being removed from the U.S., but a Homeland Security spokesperson said there would be no exceptions. The state has put out a warning about a scam targeting Holocaust survivors. Officials say it comes from a group called the Jewish Holocaust Claim Center. Now, that center could not be verified by the state. It's asking recipients to submit claims for compensation. The scam has been reported to law enforcement and the website has been taken down. Now, the state is reminding survivors that Holocaust Claims Processing Office, a legitimate state agency, can help victims and their families recover any assets or proceeds. The number for the agency on your screen, 800-695-3318. A Long Island food pantry is getting nearly 12,000 cartons of eggs. Island Harvest is getting 140,000 eggs in all to feed those in need. Now, this is part of a settlement from a lawsuit involving price manipulation. Island Harvest, the CEO, tells Newsday the eggs will be distributed throughout its food pantries in Nassau and Suffolk and its emergency feeding programs. A dive bar in Nassau is closing down after more than 30 years in business. Mr. Beery's in Bethpage will close its doors in February. The owner tells Newsday it's because of a 75% rent increase in the building. The Hempstead Turnpike Bar opened in 1993. It is known for its live music. Green Acres shoppers will be getting some new stores. The Chinese retailer Minoso will open its first Long Island store at the Green Acres Commons Shopping Center. The retailer sells clothes, toys, and home goods. The mall will be welcoming 2 new tenants, fast casual chain Kava and Perfumes for You. No word yet on when these new spaces will open. All right, take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. We have sunshine to start off, some clouds moving in by evening, rain, and that rain could be heavy, folks, and that continues into the night. We're going to check out the 7-day forecast for you in a bit. Newsday's done a lot of reporting on how ICE has impacted communities on Long Island. Today we're going to focus on one particular community, and that is Brentwood. Bahar Astadan, you wrote a story about the impact in that community. What'd you find?
That's right. So Brentwood actually has the highest concentration of Latinos in anywhere on Long Island. It also is among the most targeted by ICE of other areas of the island. What we learned from people is really this is the new normal. They said they're living in, quote, permanent trauma with the crackdown.
Okay. I spoke to some business leaders, and they said that was one of the big impacts. Supermarkets, people afraid to go shopping, or they go shopping very late at night just before closing time, come in, buy a little bit, and leave.
That's exactly right. And I think what's sort of interesting about Brentwood is support for President Trump has actually doubled in the last few elections. People really signed on to this idea of deporting the worst of the worst. But now, like you say, you know, the crackdown has impacted businesses. It's impacted people's sense of safety. And so a lot of people told us, you know, it's gone a little bit too far.
And you could read more about how the Brentwood community is responding to ICE raids on Long Island. Go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And an Only in Newsday calls for more mandates today now that the plan to dig up and replace every outdated septic system in Suffolk is behind schedule. Our Virginia Huey shows us where things stand now.
We're going to put the new septic system in here.
For James Suck-Whitney, replacing the old septic system at his newly purchased home in Wading River is a priority. He's taking advantage of the financial incentives under a county and state replacement program.
It's a win-win as far as I'm concerned, because as a homeowner, I end up with a septic system which is nearly all paid for by third parties.
But there are hundreds of thousands of outdated cesspools in Suffolk. Environmentalists say each one of them is polluting groundwater with nitrogen, which eventually gets into the bays. 5 years after Suffolk launched a plan to dig up and replace every outdated septic tank and cesspool in the county, the project has fallen short of its goal. The plan called for the installation of 16,500 nitrogen-removing systems by this year, but county records show roughly half that many are in the ground today.
We need to do better than that.
Environmentalist Adrian Esposito says the project needs to pick up the pace.
Time is really of the essence. We are seeing right now 30 to 40 years of septic systems that had drained into our aquifer is now all leaching out into our bays, our harbors, and our estuary systems. It's causing harmful algal blooms.
Suffolk already requires alternative septic systems for new construction, major renovations, or if the property is near coastal waters or wetlands. But some clean water advocates think more mandates are needed.
Adopt a policy, make the implementation date sometime out in the future so everybody knows it's coming, they can adjust their lives accordingly.
A county spokesperson told Newsday no decisions have been made about introducing such rules, and the county will evaluate program demand before considering any future policy changes. Meantime, Governor Kathy Hochul announced a $20 million grant for septic projects to encourage more homeowners to replace aging septic systems.
The state right now is actually giving away grants of up to $25,000 per homeowner, and the county is giving in Suffolk $15,000 per homeowner.
Which for me makes an enormous difference because otherwise it wasn't going to cover the cost.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Well, an exciting day for some Long Island hockey fans. They got a chance to see the Stanley Cup today. Jamie Stewart spoke to the NHL player from Sound Beach who brought the cup home.
Imagine walking into the rinks in Hop Hog and seeing the Stanley Cup.
Amazing.
Long Islanders lined up as early as 5 a.m. for the star of the day, Stanley Cup champion and Sound Beach native Brandon Bussey.
This is an unforgettable experience to see Long Island as a whole come out here to celebrate the Stanley Cup. Is something special, and I will never forget it.
Bussey's story is straight out of a Hollywood script. He spent several years in the minors, made his way onto the Carolina Hurricanes roster, and in the Stanley Cup final, when the Canes starting goalie got injured, Bussey took over in Game 3, and he never looked back.
Coming, it's Riley Smith. Hurdle, a beautiful move, stopped by Bussey.
But Bussey never forgot where he came from and where he put on the pads for the first time.
The first thing he wanted to do was go onto the north rink where he first stepped on it the first day he put his pads on.
Why is it so important for you to jump back on the ice?
First time I ever put my goalie gear on, so it had a lot of meaning. This day is amazing.
A day Bussey and Long Islanders won't soon forget. What does it mean to you to have a Long Islander bring home the cup?
It definitely means something. I like Long Island players a lot better than other players like McAvoy, Fox, all of them. It's special. It brings the island together.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
That's great. A dream come true for him. First in Newsday, another professional men's soccer team is coming to Long Island. USL Long Island will be in League One of the United Soccer League. There are currently 17 clubs in that league. Home games will take place at Hofstra University. That league will start up in 2028. Only in Newsday, we continue our series focusing on how Long Islanders are helping one another. In today's Volunteers of Long Island, videographer Chris Ware introduces us to a Wading River firefighter who serves as a role model for his community.
My name is Brandon Heller, and volunteering to me is to be a role model to others and to help my fellow neighbor. My volunteer job with the Wading River Fire Department consists of basically serving the local community and surrounding communities. I started doing this back in 2003 as a probationary firefighter and continuing to work my way up through the ranks. It's something that I care about, giving back to the community, giving back to the fellow members of the agency, but ultimately knowing that you're making a difference. Volunteering is a very rewarding part of everybody's life that they should experience. It's almost like you're on a team. You're coming into another family. You have a family at home and you have a family at the department. We all watch out for one another. It's literally when they say it's a family, it's a brotherhood, it really is a brotherhood. Our volunteer departments can always utilize help. To keep it going, we need people to always continue to join the ranks of the department. Volunteering to me is to be a role model to others, especially my family and my son. The people that we are helping are local neighbors within our community. We all live in the same community. We all shop together, we all go to school together, we work together. So when they call up for their time of need, we're there to help them. When they're calling, it's their worst day. Helping our local neighbors is probably the most rewarding and satisfying thing that keeps us all coming back. It's not about the glory, it's not about the reward, it's basically making a difference with the community. That's the joy that we get.
And a great big thank you to all the volunteer firefighters on the island. All right, probably won't be giving thanks for this weekend forecast. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. First things first, tomorrow, well, that's not looking good either. Lots of rain, especially toward the evening hours. Some heavy rains potentially Thursday night. Friday looking pretty good. You see temperatures 77. The weekend, though, wow, it appears right now to be a washout. Saturday, you see rain, also some storms. Sunday, not as bad, but still rain. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, back to work. Maybe you have the week off. It starts off nice. Plenty of sunshine, highs right around 80 degrees.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
And for more on the stories you've seen today, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Doug Geed. Thanks for watching Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
Join Carissa on a day cruise from Northport for a scenic tour of Long Island's North Shore,
where you could feel like you're cruising on the Mediterranean.
Let's go with Carissa Kelman at Newsday.com/cruise. Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.